Welcome back to the Marshall Thundering Herd Dynasty. Marshall's 4-0 to start season number 4, and it's been the best start so far of this series. We are a top 10 team. Starting last week at number 10 after that win versus Texas, have moved up to number 6. They dropped to number 12, but our defense has been the shining star. We have not given up more than 17 points, and we have just been dominant so far on the defensive side of the football. But a big resurgence at quarterback, to be honest with you, from the freshman Duke Hymas. No, his skill caps aren't going to be super high. He's not going to be a high overall quarterback, but he just plays better than what his ratings are, and he is just a really good addition to this offense as well. We are very efficient running the football as well as passing the football, spreading the wealth all over the field. But you can see the true impact has been on defense. Look at all of these tackles for loss. TFLs are a thing this season, and we are getting after the quarterback, not only doing that, but also stopping the run, not allowing those big gains that we used to allow last season and the year before that. But let's talk about recruiting, because after our first 4 games of the season, we have now hit a point where we have 2 straight bye weeks before starting Big 12 play. We have our first 5-star prospects who are interested in Marshall, starting with Ryan Reedy. He is a middle linebacker, probably more than likely, out of Idaho. He is really good. He is athletic with 90 speed. And the thing is, he is interested in coming to Marshall, and it's right now between Nebraska and Marshall. So we are going to add the max points to him. We're going to come back to him and do that, but he is really good. We have a second 5-star prospect who is interested in Romeo Lossman out of Miami, Florida. We have been very fortunate to get some good recruits out of Florida. Now remember, even our quarterback is out of Miami, Florida, so this is going to be an interesting, get for him, getting these guys out of this quote-unquote pipeline we are creating in Florida. And Lossman right now has us as the first team over UCF, over some local Florida teams, and we will not even unlock him. And actually, it's over Colorado, not UCF. I don't know why I said that, but over Colorado. And Miami is down on that list. Now, Miami, every time we've gone after a recruit in this series, has swooped up a guy that was once interested in us. So hopefully Lossman does stay course and does end up eventually committing to West Virginia, Marshall. We have a local kid in Thomas, a right guard, a pretty good kid. Quincy Kukwa is the guy that I actually was very interested in because he was a top 100 recruit at tackle. Now, we have had one of those such guys in Lloyd Thurman. Thurman hasn't quite lived up to the hype, but I like Kukwa because he is top 100 for a reason. A lot of these guys you're going to notice, we're not scouting. We're just putting the full points on them because I want to go after like a core 10 to 12 recruits. The same with Kadarius Crisp, another top 100 offensive lineman. So I'm not even going to scout him, not even waste the points, because we have some other guys we want to go after, like George Core. He is a top 160 prospect. I believe he's ranked 142, I believe. Miles McTavish, is that how you say it? Miles McTavish. He is a center. So you can see we're going after a tackle, a couple of guards, a few guards, and a center. And that's kind of what we're going to do. We're going to create that depth on the offensive line just in case somebody comes in and they're not as good as what we thought they were. I kind of feel that way with Lloyd Thurman, who was a former 4-star prospect at tackle. He's actually been kind of disappointing. I don't know what it is, but he is just not blocking well at left tackle, and he's not close to getting benched, but I think he's one of the more weaker links on our offensive line. Juan Douglas, a middle linebacker, I really like on defense, and I still want to add to the defense. As you see here, we are number 1 on his list, and it looks like he is probably the closest to committing, and he is the number 99th ranked prospect on in the NCAA right now as far as high school prospects go. So I really want him. Remember, Chasen Clark is a senior, so I do need to replace him possibly with Juan Douglas. I want to keep adding to the local pipeline in West Virginia. So David Okafor is a guy that I'm going to go after. And as you can see, like, we aren't scouting their ratings, but we will reveal them a little bit later on in the season as we, get some points freed up, get some hours freed up, and we will start to scout them a little bit more. Niles Middlebrooks, a guy that we're in on We are setting the house right now, but we are in third place behind TCU. So we'll see how that recruitment goes. Clark Stober. Is that how you say it? Stober. He is a 4-star cornerback. He is actually in the top 500. Actually, our lowest ranked 4-star we are going after. He's ranked 449. He is 6'3". I like that he's a zone tendency because those guys come in with very high zone, and that matters a lot in my defense. So those are really the top 10 to 12 guys I'm going after here. And as you can see, we're not really scouting the ratings, but I'm going to reveal a couple of them on Romeo Lossman just to see how good he is. He does have that bronze blanket coverage, which helps in man coverage as well. Now, one thing I want to point out before hopping into Big 12 play is that Dylan Gilliam is at risk of transfer. He's saying because of his playing time. Now, I think this is something they need to tweak in this game. Because, yes, there are players rated higher than him on the team, but he is our number 1 guy on the depth chart, and he's getting the most carries on the team. So I think they definitely need to fix that up and actually make it so that it's for real geared towards playing time, not just where they stand on the depth chart, where they actually are playing. We have some guys over him like Sevin Macklin, who was a former walk-on. He's really good. I do want to keep developing him, and eventually he will probably start down the road. We'll see. Niles Middlebrooks, after advancing 1 week, does end up committing to TCU, so we do lose out on him, but we were third on his list, and I wasn't banking on him really being a guy that we would be able to get. But Ryan Reedy, we decided to change his pitch here to a hard sell for Sunday Bound. Seems like that's probably his perfect pitch. We have some decent grades there. Pro potential is a D right now. We haven't had any guys that have been drafted. And then I decide to continue to fully scout Romeo Lossman. And one thing about him, he's got 96 speed, 82 man coverage with 82. And one thing, that's different about him is that he has that jammer ability. We have not had anybody that's had that jammer ability. So we do advance on to past that second bye week, and Juan Douglas does commit. So we get our first commit of the season here in middle linebacker Juan Douglas. I can't wait to see him on campus. If Ryan Reedy and Juan Douglas come, that's going to be a scary 1-2 combo at middle linebacker in the future of this series. Can't wait to see that play out. But now we enter Big 12 conference play. Manuel Vega is the quarterback here for Kansas. He's thrown for decent numbers, 13-3, but they have not amounted to many wins here for Kansas here this season. Marcel Williams is one of their top recruits, one of their top receivers, I should say. But one guy I want to point out here is Duran Toure. Remember Duran Toure back in season number 1? He was a local kid out of Huntington, West Virginia. And remember, he was first on our list for a long time, but then he ended up putting that deal breaker on for championship contender. But he is absolutely maxed out. He was star dev. He ended up going to Kansas. He stayed there, and maybe he made the wrong decision going to Kansas because Kansas has not done anything in this series. So that's something to keep your eye on in this game as we enter Big 12 conference play. A homecoming for Duran Toure as he brings his a lot of family and friends to this game, but we're not going to let him get anything today. Duke Jaimes, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception, and we start Big 12 play. The first carry of the game is going to be to Dylan Gilliam, picking up a gain of 8. We're going to continue to get him his carries, hopefully make him happier as we get to the 22. Now it's a 3rd and 1 carry back to Gilliam, and he fights forward for the first down and a little bit more. As now here is Jaimes in the pocket, throwing across the middle. That one's going to be a quick first down throw to Aiden Steinfeld, the senior. And he picks up the first as we get across the 50 eventually. Running a man in motion, a little RPO action of long throw to the right side. That's going to be caught outside of the numbers that time to Hashim Banagu. 3rd and 2, back to Gilliam, and he converts on another 3rd down here on this drive. Using a little bit of clock here as the defense stays on the field. Here's another short throw. This time Robert Session catches the football and turns upfield for the 4th first down of this drive. A long drive here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Here is Jaimes rolling, throwing this one on the run, and he's got DeJuan Whitehead for the touchdown. What an opening drive here for Marshall. And wow, what a throw by the freshman. Right on the money. He couldn't have thrown that one any better. And a good start here for the Herd. Handoff this time up the middle. That one's going to be a stop by David Hardwick Jr. And he is a junior coming into this season. Very, very good linebacker. Handoff this time. Vega gives it to his star tailback, only picking up a gain of 5. That one to Stewart is now 3rd and 4. This time Vega throws to the feet of his receiver, and that's going to be incomplete and a 3-and-out here for Kansas. They're only 1-3. They have had a rough going so far this season. Here is Gilliam with a nice run, and that's his 4th carry. He's got 31 yards already. Fresh set of downs here at about the 50. Rolling to left side. Hymas throws on the run across his body and finds DeJuan Whitehead for about a gain of 10. 3rd and inches now. Back to Gilliam. Gilliam to the outside. He's got a lot of space. He gets inside the 20, and a nice big run that time for our power back. And Gilliam showing off the legs right there. Doesn't have much speed, but he shows it there. Here's a rare catch this time by the senior tight end, Tyler Stevens. And now here we go, 2nd and 3. Handoff back up the middle to Gilliam, and he stumbles forward, and he gets to about the 1. So 1st and goal now. They mark it at the 2, actually, even though that's kind of halfway between the 1 and the 2. And it's a touch pass over to DeJuan Whitehead. Technically a catch, and it will be his 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. And it's 14-0 versus Kansas. This 1-3 team is trying to reel it in so far in the first half. There's a handoff to Stewart. Only a gain of a couple, and brings it to another 3rd down. Here under pressure is Vega. He gets hit on the throw. He sees Toure late, and he can't get it to him. Here we go back on offense now. Hymas lines up, throws this one deep, and he's looking for Hashim Banagu and cannot find him. He was wide open, and he would have walked in for a touchdown. 3rd and 4 now. Back to the running game, though. Courtney Lyles showing off a little bit of power, and he picks up a 1st down on that carry. Kansas sends the pressure. Here's a throw to left side. It's Whitehead again. He's been busy today with 2 touchdown receptions, and he picks up his 4th catch of the game for a 1st down. Running Aiden Steinfeld in motion this time. Gilliam in the backfield, play action, and the rookie gets out of the pocket. He's looking deep, but he decides to just take it himself. Good decision by Hymas. Because now we're nearing the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Running a man in motion. Here's a throw out to left side, and that one is caught by Robert Session, but he gets hit for about a loss of 3. And we bring in the true freshman Gordon Woods for about a 53-yard field goal. And this one is good. Just over the crossbar. And the rookie has really actually made a big difference so far for our offense this year. Here is Vega under pressure on the next drive. It's David Hardwick Jr. who gets to the quarterback. And look at that. How there's no flag on that. The jostle between Vega and Hardwick. I don't know what happened there. 3rd and 13. Screen pass out to Stewart. Stewart pushed out of bounds by his own offensive lineman, pushing Tim Ramesh into the back. And now it's 17-0 here with 3 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back on offense. Here is Session trying to use that speed to get to the outside. He only picks up a gain of 3. Hymas now in the pocket, facing pressure. Picks up a block and does step out of bounds, but he does pick up enough for the 1st down. 2-minute warning here. A direct snap this time to Courtney Lyles. And he takes it up the middle for a gain of 6. Lyles has been a very good complement to Gilliam so far this year. Gilliam with the power and Lyles with the speed. Here is a orbit motion this time to Gilliam, and he gets the catch. And another 1st down. Kansas is just not stopping our offense at all. We are pretty much using the entire playbook. Here's an option. This time pitching to Gilliam. The ball's on the ground. Picked up by Kansas. I don't know what Gilliam was expecting right there, but that was a tailor-made pitch. He probably could have took it for a touchdown on that play. So we turn the ball over here before the end of the half, but it doesn't matter. Caleb Uche getting to Vega. That's a big loss of about 8 yards. And now it's a 3rd and 18 for this Kansas offense. I feel like they haven't even gotten a first down so far this first half. And we get a stop. We call a timeout. We have just under a minute to go here to put some points on the board. So here's the first throw. Here is a catch by Hashim Banagu, and he gets to about the 50-yard line. It's a first down. Jaime's in the pocket. Clean pocket so far. Stepping up, moving to left side. He just tosses it at the last second to Aiden Steinfeld for the first down. He was wide open. 1st and 10 again. Full house pistol formation. Here's a throw up the seam, though, and it's caught. Aiden Steinfeld. It's a touchdown. Caught the defense in cover 2, and Aiden Steinfeld gets open. 24-0 for this Marshall offense. And it has just been a dominant day on both sides of the football. Aiden Steinfeld, the senior tight end, makes a play. Vega, one last play before halftime. He goes down. It's Dwayne Gardner, the sophomore. Now that's one 4-star prospect who has lived up so far to the hype as we move on to the second half. It's 24-0, but look at Stewart. He's just fighting for his life just to get 1 yard on that play. 7 carries for 15 yards for him. It's a 3rd and 9 for Vega. In the pocket, he goes down. The senior, Zach Traylor, gets to the quarterback. So much pressure here on Vega today, and their offense is just grasping for anything. Gilliam running the football well today. That one goes for a first down as he gets to about the 40. Jaime's in the pocket, this time stepping up, throwing across the middle, and he's got Robert Session who has the first down. And that is a nice throw by the freshman, stepping up in the pocket, kind of throwing on the run. 1st and 10 again, handoff, this time Gilliam to the outside. Gilliam! And he picks up a gain of 14, 9 carries, 81 yards. And now we're at about the 21. Here is Jaimes under pressure, and the first big play by the defense comes just at the edge of field goal range. A 2nd and 18 this time. Steinfeld gets wide open. He's got a lot more inside the 5. Goal to go. How about that? A 2nd and 18, and we convert for like a gain of 30. RPO action over to Gilliam, and he will high step his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown, and Marshall just in absolute control in this one, cruising onto their 5th victory of the season. And now in the third quarter, we bring in Terrell Durham, the backup quarterback. Remember, we had really 4 freshman quarterbacks coming into this season. Terrell Durham was really the guy I thought would be the starter coming into this season before we went to the offseason, and he comes in as a backup now. Now the difference is he is a bit taller. He's about 6'4", 6'5". He is just as mobile as you see from Duke Jaimes, but I think just one thing I just liked was Jaimes' escape ability. Even though Durham is just as mobile, I think that Jaimes is just a better ball carrier, and he's just better at creating plays. Even though Durham is good, you can see on these throws, he's making all the right reads, all the accurate throws. Here's a handoff, this time to Brian Santana on a 4th and 1. He's getting some playing time. He has taken a little bit of a back seat this season. Another quick throw, this time to Keanu Samoa, the senior, who doesn't get much playing time, but in this blowout, we decided to rest our starters in the third quarter. Play action fake for Durham. Roll into the left side. Throw into the end zone. It's a catch and a touchdown. Leon Awe, the 4-star freshman elite dev player. I can't wait to see what he turns into, but he is going to be great. We end up winning this game 44-0. Our first shutout of the entire series comes in Season 4, and it comes versus a reeling 1-4 Kansas team. Duke Hymas was amazing. 4 total touchdowns, and it was just a dominant game. 137 yards of total offense for Kansas. They had 6 first downs. We had 29. Just showing you the difference between the two offenses. It was just an amazing performance by both sides of the football. Terrell Durham came in and played some good football too, and that makes me feel really good because now I know if something does happen to Hymas, we're probably still in pretty good hands in Terrell Durham. I think he's capable of leading this team as well. Both guys we recruited for this reason. We knew they would be similar skill sets and really just compete, and I think Hymas is just so efficient. You just can't go to Durham at this point, and there's no reason to, obviously, but it just shows like both of these guys are good quarterbacks. Our defense is playing well. We've recruited pretty well. And how about Duran Toure? He has 0 catches for 0 yards in this game. I'm sure he probably regrets going to Kansas because they are just terrible at this point. After that game, we get a big recruiting update. Ryan Reedy has committed to Marshall, our first 5-star prospect of the series. And then David Okafor, the local kid, he ends up committing as well. We've actually had a few local recruits in this series. A lot of guys come out of Huntington, which is pretty cool. We have Kelechi Nwangu on our defensive line right now. I believe he's out of Huntington. But nice to see 2 recruits, especially with Reedy, our first 5-star prospect. But I'm not really settling for that. We're trying to get 2 5-star prospects here in season number 4. Romeo Lossman is ready for his visit. So we are going to actually visit him for week 8 versus Colorado. And remember, Colorado, as you can see right here on the screen, is his top school along with us. So it's really between the 2 of us, Colorado and Marshall. And we're going to make him visit on that game versus Colorado, and they are actually top 25 as well. So that's going to be a very, very good game. But in the second game of this doubleheader, we will face Houston to possibly start 6-0 on the year. Houston's off to a rough start. They are 2-3 as well, but they are 1-0 in Big 12 conference play. Now, Houston, remember, gave us our only Big 12 loss last year, if you remember that. It was the first game in the Big 12. They ended up beating us, so a little bit of a revenge game. But our defense is playing out of this world. We've given up the least amount of points in the NCAA so far. So here we go. The first play of the game is going to be a handoff, this time to Courtney Lyles. And Lyles takes off. He already has a big-time gain in this one. 35 yards for the former quarterback. Jaime's across the 50 now. Here's a handoff, this time to Gilliam, who gets hit hard but does pick up enough for the first down. Houston looks like they have almost a sold-out crowd. Here's a throw across the middle. That one is caught. DeJuan Whitehead after a 2-touchdown game for him. Play action fake again. Jaimes gets hit on the throw, trying to do too much. It's intercepted. His second INT of the season. And that time Jaimes was just trying to do a little too much. The pressure was in there, and he threw off of his back foot. And out comes Caleb McMickle. What a name that is. But Caleb McMickle leads the Big 12 in interceptions so far this season with 8. So that is going to be a big-time thing to remember here in this one. We can possibly force him into mistakes. We'll see if we can do that. Here's a handoff this time, and that is a big stop on third down. The defense just picks up where they left off last game. So here is Jaimes now in the pocket, this time on the next drive, throwing deep, and he's got Rasheen Banagu for the touchdown. We've just got too much speed now. Rasheen Banagu at 6'4", 6'5", 95 speed, gets behind the defense, and that was an easy pitch and catch. 7-0 here for this Marshall team, and that is a big stop on that screen pass. A great tackle. I believe that was Maxwell Odom on that one. 3rd and 3 for McMickle. In the pocket, throwing across the middle, and he throws it low at his tight end's feet, and the pressure may have caused that errant throw. 1st and 10 again, Duke Jaimes this time finding DeJuan Whitehead as he picks up a gain of 7. 2nd and 1 now. This time, Jaimes throws across his body into a tight window. That is a dangerous throw, and a 1st down to Aiden Steinfeld. 3rd and 4 now. Here's Jaimes stepping up in the pocket. Look at the wheels. He's inside the 25, taking a hit at the 20. And Jaimes is a tough runner. And that brings us to the 2nd quarter after a gain of 24 on that scramble. Here's Gilliam this time, showing the patience and the vision. It's a touchdown. What a play right there by Gilliam. Look at him showing the patience, freezing the linebacker, then using that speed. One cut and just goes to the end zone after that. What a great block downfield by Whitehead as well. Maybe got away with a little bit of a block in the back. 14-0 here is McMickle, throws across the middle. He's got his tight end for a 1st down on that throw. Across the 50 now. McMickle throws the left side, and another big catch, and a good tackle that time by Jason Keener, the sophomore. Inside of field goal range, McMickle with a nice drive, handing it off, and that's Tim Ramesh in the backfield. That's a big loss of 6 yards. 3rd and 8. Here's pressure on McMickle. He gets hit. I don't know how he got rid of that pass, but he does throw it out of the back of the end zone, and they settle for the field goal on this drive. And even when they're putting together a nice drive, it's only 3 points. Jaimes now, play action fake, pressure, he gets hit on the throw, and he throws his 2nd INT of the game. So Houston's defense, 2-3 on the season, has forced Jaimes into more interceptions today than he had all year coming into this one. 3 INTs on the year. Here is McMickle, under pressure, throws this one, downfield, touchdown. Houston answers after the turnover, and it's now 14-10. So Houston has showed up today at home in front of these hometown fans. And we'll see what happens here as Jaimes. Can he recover after 2 INTs? Here's a deep shot across the middle. That one's caught. DeJuan Whitehead, he puts the ball on the ground. But they're going to go and review this one, and his knee was clearly down. So we're not going to overreact on that one. The refs get this one right. Yeah, his knee and his elbow were both down. That wasn't even close. So now in the field goal range now. Play action fake, throw into the sideline. This one's caught. It's Steinfeld again. And a lot of throws on the run today as the pressure is getting in there. Here's a little RPO action. This time to Hashim Banagu, who cuts upfield and gets to about the 1. We know we bring in the big power back, Dylan Gilliam. We give it to him, and he runs in untouched for the touchdown, 21-10. And the offense goes right back to doing what they were doing before, driving down the football field. And now we are up by 11. We'll see if we can get a stop here and maybe put some more points on the board before halftime. This is a 3rd and 1 this time on a jet sweep. Touch pass and a nice stop in the backfield. Dwayne Gardner. Man, he is good. Stopping the run and rushing the passer. He's been quite the contributor. So here we go now. About a minute, 20 seconds to go here in the first half. There's a nice throw to Robert Session. He picks up a gain of 8. And we do get into a 4th and 1. We end up going for this because it's only 1 yard. And here is Courtney Lyles. That's a 1st down. He gets to about the 40. We do run it a hurry up to the line now. Play action fake to Gilliam. Here's a throw to a wide open Aiden Steinfeld inside the 5. And it's goal to go. Wow. This offense is just so efficient. Everybody contributes. And now we get into the 4. Here's a 3rd and goal. And once again, Jaimes walks in. An 18-point lead here going into halftime. And Marshall just pouring it on here as we move to the second half. It's now just an 11-point game. As here we go, Jaimes now. in the pocket, throws across the middle. This one's caught. It's DeJuan Whitehead. Whitehead using the speed. Whitehead scores. It's a touchdown. Right away, this offense is just incredible. DeJuan Whitehead with 3 touchdowns in the past 2 games. And you can just see the veteran leadership by him. And he's been very unselfish, not really demanding the football, but when he gets it, he makes big plays like this one. Here's another catch and a juke inside, getting to about the 10. And DeJuan Whitehead going for his career high in yards today. I believe that was 6 catches, 157. Here's a handoff back to Gilliam. Gilliam to the outside. Gilliam dives in. Maybe just gets undercut inside the end zone. It's a touchdown. And Marshall in full control in this one now, 42-17. And we do end up subbing our backups in right after that play. So here is Houston playing our third stringers. And on the first play, it's a interception. Maxwell O'Doom. And it seems like this one is not even close. If it wasn't for those 2 turnovers that we had, I don't even know if Houston would have scored a touchdown. Maybe they would have. But here's Durham late, throwing one late, and it's intercepted. Just trying to do too much there. And Houston actually ends up scoring a lot of points in the 3rd and 4th quarter. We don't end up subbing our starters back in. We probably should have, but they end up scoring 39. So it ended up being 42-39 as we did mass sub our starters out and did not bring them back in. And I guess that was a close one, to be honest with you, but we still ended up winning. And Duke Hymas, another good game. Like, this wasn't a great game because of the 2 interceptions, but Gilliam 12 for 47 for 3 touchdowns. And I got to say, our defense was dominant once again. Obviously, we put our defense in a couple of spots there where they had to play, on the opposite side of the field that they're usually playing on, really backed up against the wall, but still a very good game. But we get another win. I mean, this is the best start we've had in this series. We get another recruit in Alex Thomas, another West Virginia kid. We end up adding another offensive lineman, and you can kind of see what we're doing this year. A lot of these recruits aren't going to be starting day one. We're going to develop these guys, especially the offensive linemen, into guys we want them to be. And you can just see here, after that win, we are 6-0. I believe we are one of 5 or 6 undefeated teams still remaining. Alabama, Oregon are ahead of us. Charlotte is undefeated. They're number 6. I believe actually Iowa State is still undefeated at this point. And here is Colorado at number 16, who we will be facing next episode. That's a big one because Romeo Lossman, the 5-star quarterback, is visiting, remember, during that game. So there is a possibility that he makes his commitment based on the outcome of next episode. And I'm very, very excited for that because the game last year versus Colorado was very, very good. They are a very good offense, and I can't wait to get into this game. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.